Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Okay, so if you ever had that moment, you're pouring a drink, right? Maybe it's that craft beer after cutting the grass, or you're opening some wine while starting dinner, and just as you're pouring, you kind of stop, and you just think, why am I actually doing this right now? I probably used to feel pretty automatic, effortless even. Just a simple way to switch gears, to take the edge off after a long day. But maybe lately, that whole routine sort of feel a bit heavy. Yeah, like less of a treat, maybe more of an obligation. Almost. So that feeling, that specific moment of questioning, that's what we're digging into today. It's that subtle shift, but it feels really significant where your idea, just normal drinking, starts to feel, well, like it's becoming too much. We're going to explore the mechanics of this change. And look, absolutely no judgment here, no guilt. We're just looking at the facts, trying to unpack why this relationship with alcohol can change. Especially as stress piles up, life gets way busier. And this is a big one, as our bodies just don't bounce back quite like they used to. So our goal here is an honest look at what happens when that simple, relaxing drink, it moves from a nice option into something that feels like a silent demand. All right, let's unpack this. The first thing that really stands out when you look into it is how sneaky this whole progression is. Habits like this, they rarely just start as a problem. They're kind of masters of the slow creep. It might start with, one drink after work. Then maybe it's two on a Friday. Then that weekend habit starts bleeding into Thursday, maybe even Wednesday. And almost before you realize it, bam, you've got a daily ritual. It just feels normal, totally normalized. But that normalization is kind of walking us towards a tipping point. And this involves both physical stuff and psychological stuff. The first real sign is often tolerance. You find you need a bit more to get that same effect, the same relaxation you used to get from less. And here's the real kicker, the betrayal almost. The anxiety you're trying to soothe that actually starts getting worse. The very thing that maybe helped you chill out short term ends up creating more stress and anxiety in the long run. It's a tough cycle. And then there's just the biological reality, right? We get older. What felt okay, maybe even easy to recover from in your 20s, it eats way differently in your 30s or 40s, sometimes even sooner for some people. Things like your liver function, your hormones, even just how well you stay hydrated, all the internal machinery that processes alcohol, it just becomes, less forgiving. So why does this shift often go unnoticed for so long? Or maybe, why do we ignore it? Well, partly because our culture is constantly, relentlessly fighting against that awareness. Think about how alcohol is marketed. It's sold as self-care, isn't it? As a reward. Connection. Sometimes even, bizarrely, as balance. You see it everywhere in media. Those, brunch mimosas, wine nights, beer o'clock, even the whole slightly jokey mom juice or dad juice thing. It all normalizes it, glamorizes it, and this builds up a powerful illusion. We start confusing just social drinking, which, let's be honest, is often just folks managing stress together. We confuse that with genuine connection or healthy relaxation. So the current default definition of normal drinking, it's really rooted in social habit, not necessarily in physical health. So listen, if you found yourself questioning this habit lately, pause for a second. Recognize that feeling isn't failure. It's not weakness. That questioning is actually a sign of sharp awareness. It means you're noticing that the goalposts for what feels moderate or normal for you, they've kind of shifted silently. And this brings us right into the biology of that turning point. Because your body, it starts sending out some pretty clear signals. Although we often misinterpret them, that quiet wake-up call often appears in subtle ways first. Maybe it's just consistently poor sleep, or that low-grade humming anxiety that seems worse than it used to be. Or maybe it's just that feeling that you need that drink just to properly unwind at the end of the day. Like it's not really optional anymore. Now, the really fascinating part, when you look at the research, is why the body feels so drained, so off-kilter. It's not just about, say, losing an hour of sleep here or there. It's about disruption deeper down at the neurological level. Alcohol might make you feel sleepy initially, right? Helps you nod off sometimes. But it seriously messes with your REM sleep. That's REM, rapid eye movement sleep. And REM sleep is absolutely vital. It's crucial for processing emotions, for memory consolidation, for mental restoration. So yeah, you might be technically sleeping for 7 or 8 hours. But you're not getting the quality of rest your brain and body actually need. But here's where it gets even more interesting, I think. Alcohol actually triggers the release of cortisol. Cortisol, is the body's main stress hormone. It's managed by something called the HPA axis, that's hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. So think about that loop. You drink, maybe partly to reduce stress. But the biological effect is that it actually increases your stress hormone systemically. It sets up this really vicious feedback cycle, that jittery 3 a.m. wake up, that feeling anxious or emotionally raw the next day. That's often your biology talking, driven by that elevated cortisol. It's not a flaw in your character. And there's more. Alcohol is also kind of an aggressive nutrient thief. It actively depletes essential vitamins your body needs to function, especially B vitamins. Think vitamin B1, vitamin B12. Now, why should you care about B vitamins specifically? Well, they are absolutely critical. They act as cofactors for generating stable energy, for maintaining mental focus, for regulating your mood. Processing alcohol puts huge metabolic stress on your system. Your body basically has to pull these B vitamins from other jobs to deal with the toxins, which leaves less for your brain and nervous system to function optimally. So if you find yourself feeling foggy, maybe you can't concentrate like you used to, or you just feel emotionally kind of flat even a day or two after drinking, that's often a direct result of this nutrient depletion and the overall stress on your system, particularly impacting your brain. Understanding this mechanism, honestly, it can be incredibly freeing because it shifts the focus away from self-blame or willpower and puts it squarely onto your physiology. It's about what's happening inside your body. So what does knowing all this actually mean for you, practically speaking, right now? Well, it means you absolutely have the power to start reclaiming some balance and redefining what normal feels like for you. It doesn't always have to mean quitting completely, though of course many people find that's the best path for them, but really it starts with gaining clarity. And maybe most importantly, regaining a sense of control over your choices. So based on this, we've pinpointed 3 really actionable steps you can take to start rebalancing things, start resetting. Helps reset hormonal balance, improve those initial stages of sleep architecture, and reduce that underlying anxiety we talked about. Think of a break like a diagnostic tool. It gives you clean space to actually feel the difference, to evaluate the habit without the habit being present. Okay, second step, rebuild your unwind rituals. This is key. If having that drink was your go-to signal for, okay, work's done, time to relax, you've now got a gap in your routine when you take a break or cut back. You need to consciously replace that draining habit with something restorative, something that actually gives back. What could that be? Well, lots of options. Maybe a focused 20-minute walk, really paying attention to your surroundings, maybe spending 10 minutes journaling, or getting really into cooking something nice, exploring some of those really complex, tasty, non-alcoholic drinks that are out there now, or even just 5 minutes of intentional breath work. The point is, you're actively replacing reliance with genuine self-serving. And third, crucially, you need to refuel your body. We just talked about how alcohol drains those essential nutrients, right? Especially B vitamins and the body's own antioxidants. So if you really want to cut back and actually feel better, feel more energy, more clarity, you need to actively support your body's recovery, particularly your liver and brain. Now, there are a couple of specific compounds that research suggests are really vital when you're trying to reset. One is a highly absorbable form of vitamin B1. It's called Benfotiamine. We focus on this specific form because it's lipid soluble. Fancy term, but it basically means it can cross the blood-brain barrier more easily than standard B1. And that's critical because it directly supports nerve health, mental clarity, sustained energy. It helps replenish exactly what alcohol tends to deplete from your neurological function. The second one is N-acetylcysteine. You probably hear it called NSEA sometimes. NSEA is really important because it's a direct building block for glutathione. And glutathione, as we know from a lot of research, is basically the body's master antioxidant. It plays an absolutely essential role in helping your liver detoxify and helping your cells recover from toxic exposure. So these aren't just random supplements. They are specific building blocks your brain and body really need to find that balance again, to find that genuine, sustained energy that, exists beyond just a temporary buzz from alcohol. And yeah, full transparency, because these components are so key for recovery, we made sure they were central to the Daily Restore formulation we developed over at Cloud9. It was designed specifically for people looking for that clarity and energy support while they're cutting back. Okay, so let's wrap this up. The main takeaway here is this. If your old definition of normal drinking just doesn't feel quite normal anymore, please know that is the opposite of failure. It's awareness. It's your body, your system, basically asking for a correction, asking you to realign towards what actually feels balanced and healthy for you right now. You're not really sacrificing anything by rethinking how alcohol fits into your life or if it fits at all. In fact, by embracing this awareness, you stand to gain so much. Profound clarity, genuine energy that lasts. and that sense of autonomous control over your own story, your own well-being. So use this information. Use that awareness that prompted you to even listen today, and just start exploring. Explore how you might want to rewrite your relationship with alcohol for good. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor, leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.